You might not notice it right away, but one day you walk into a room and something just feels off. You smile at someone, no smile back. You say something witty and it floats into silence. You try to join a conversation, but the group parts like water around a rock. At first, you tell yourself, I'm imagining things, but it keeps happening. And little by little, a quiet thought creeps in. Have I become invisible? It's not just in your head, and you are not alone. As we age, especially after 60, there's a subtle shift in how others perceive us. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's harsh, but often it's shaped not by who we are, but by a few unnoticed habits we've picked up without realizing it. These habits are like invisible fog. They dull your presence, they blur your warmth, and without meaning to, they can make you seem less sharp, less engaged, less alive. But here's the truth. None of that is who you really are. And once you recognize these habits and learn how to flip them, you reclaim the space you deserve. You reignite how people see you. And most importantly, you remind yourself just how vibrant and valuable you are. Let's talk about the 7 hidden habits that change how people perceive you after 60 and how to break them for good. The shrink and sink posture, you've seen it. Maybe you felt it. Shoulders slightly hunched, head tilted downward, arms crossed, a posture that says, don't mind me. It sneaks in over time, especially with back pain, arthritis, or simply long days spent sitting. But the message it sends is louder than we think. Slump posture tells the world, I'm tired, I'm fading, I'm less confident. And here's the cruel twist. When others see that, they treat us accordingly. Less eye contact, less engagement, less respect, but stand up straight, shoulders back, chest open. People notice, they lean in, they listen differently, because posture isn't just about your back, it's about presence. Fix it with this 30-second reset. Stand or sit tall. Imagine a string pulling the crown of your head upward. Roll your shoulders back and down. Breathe deeply and own your space. Try it right now. Feel the difference? Good posture doesn't just change how others see you, it changes how you feel inside. Then nod and fade. Listening trap, have you ever caught yourself nodding through a conversation? Smiling, being polite, but not really jumping in? Maybe you didn't want to interrupt. Maybe the topic didn't interest you. Or maybe you felt like your opinion wouldn't matter. This habit, what we'll call the nod and fade, can make you seem disengaged, even disinterested. And over time, it creates distance. People assume you're checked out, that you have nothing to say, that you'd rather not be involved. But here's the truth. You have a lifetime of stories, wisdom, and insights. And when you speak, people do listen, but they need a spark to remind them. Instead of fading, try this. Ask a question that deepens the topic. Share a short story from your experience. Use phrases like, that reminds me of, or you know what I've seen work. That small shift from nodding to engaging changes how people experience you. It makes you magnetic. It makes you memorable. The soft speak syndrome, many older adults unconsciously lower their voice over time. Maybe it's a fear of seeming pushy. Maybe it's hearing loss. Or maybe it's just habit. But here's the problem. When your voice becomes softer, people stop hearing you. Not just literally, but emotionally. They stop seeking your opinion. They talk over you. They treat your words as optional background noise. And nothing is more isolating than feeling unheard. But you don't need to shout to be powerful. You just need clarity, tone, and intention. Try this simple shift. Practice speaking one notch louder than feels natural. End your sentences with confidence, not a question mark. Make your voice round, not harsh, not timid, but firm and warm. You'll be amazed how this changes the way people listen. They'll pause. They'll turn their heads because suddenly you command a room. The safe gray style, let's talk clothes. Not for fashion, for psychology. A lot of people, after 60, default to what we'll call safe gray dressing. Muted colors, shapeless cuts, conservative everything. Why? Because it's comfortable. It's easy. It doesn't draw attention. But that's the problem. It doesn't draw attention. And over time, it makes you seem faded, like someone who's trying to disappear. But you're not invisible. You're not past your peak. And your clothing can remind the world and yourself of that. You don't need to be flashy, just intentional. Try a bold scarf, a sharp hat, a jacket with personality. Play with color, deep blues, rich reds, earthy greens. Choose cuts that fit your shape and energy. Because when you dress like someone who matters, people treat you like someone who matters. And when you walk into a room with presence, style, and a spark, you change the entire dynamic. The complaint loop? Mindset, let's be honest. life after 60 isn't always easy. There's grief, aches, big transitions, frustrations with technology, and don't even get started on the healthcare system. It's natural to vent. It's human to share. But if you're not careful, it becomes a loop, a constant hum of what's wrong. And when that happens, even if your heart is good, people start to avoid you. Not because they don't care, but because it becomes draining. So what's the shift? From complaint to curiosity. Instead of "this tech is stupid," try "this is tricky. I wonder how younger folks would handle it." Instead of "my knees are killing me," try "I've been experimenting with ways to keep moving despite my knees. Have you tried anything?" This doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It means framing your struggles with energy, not heaviness. Because the most magnetic people at any age are the ones who can face hardship with spirit. The fade-out social habit you use to host dinners. Join book clubs, travel with friends. But somewhere along the way, life got quieter. It happens to all of us. Kids move away. Friends relocate. We retire. And before we know it, our social circle has shrunk to just a few familiar faces. Or worse, just ourselves. The danger? Isolation. Not just emotionally, but perceptually. Because when we stop showing up, people assume we've given up. They stop inviting us, stop including us, not out of cruelty, but because we become a question mark. But here's the truth. You can reignite your social spark at any age. Start small. Say yes to one new thing a week, a walk, a group, a class. Reconnect with one old friend. Join something intergenerational, a mentoring program, a community garden, a library event. Because the more visible you are, the more people see you. And not just physically, but as a vibrant, living part of the world. The apology aura. This one is subtle but powerful. It's the feeling of shrinking yourself in everyday life. Saying sorry when you haven't done anything wrong. Moving aside too quickly. Laughing off your own ideas before others do. It's the apology aura. A low-grade sense that you're in the way. That your presence is a burden. That your time is less valuable than others. But let me tell you something. You've earned your space. Through decades of love, labor, learning, and loss, you've built a life. A beautiful, imperfect, resilient life. And that life has weight. It has gravity. It has value. So stop apologizing for existing. Start showing up like you belong. Because you do, more than ever. The real reason this matters. These 7 habits may seem small, but together, they shape how the world sees you. And even more importantly, they shape how you see yourself, because perception is contagious. When people treat you like you're vibrant, engaged, and valuable, you rise to meet it. And when they don't, you start to shrink. But you don't have to accept invisibility. You don't have to become a background character in your own story. You can reclaim the spotlight, not by shouting, not by forcing anything, but by removing the habits that dim your light. And when you do, you rediscover something powerful, that even now, especially now, you are still someone worth looking up to, someone worth listening to, someone worth remembering.